Hey everybody, it's Katie. I wanted to do a little update, sort of in the interest of just documenting how things have been, and also to help anybody else out there, or God forbid if I ever have to go through this again. I just really want to be, aware of how things have gone this time following my miscarriage. At this point, it's been almost 3 weeks since I had since I found out I was pregnant and seemingly losing the pregnancy. When I made my last update, it was all pretty fresh in my mind, and I really wanted to again capture all those details at that time. But the timeline that I was prepared for at that time has turned out to be pretty different than where things are now. So basically, when I made my update explaining the miscarriage and how we were dealing and everything, I had just seen my midwife, and she had said, within a week, I think the bleeding will stop. You should start to get negative pregnancy tests. So that's what I was prepared for, and I felt pretty good. I mean, days passed, and I felt okay with that, and that I was just ready to, be ready to move on. So unfortunately, that's not exactly how things went, and I've since done more research, and I've heard anecdotally from you guys that these things can take much longer to sort of get back on track. So in the 2 weeks since I've made that update, I've continued to have late bleeding, just a little bit more than spotting most days, but consistently every single day since then. So it's been a total of 3 weeks since the bleeding started. And 2 days ago now, I had a really heavy bleeding and bad cramping. So I've taken that at this point to be my body is really starting to reset itself. In the meantime, so in the 2 weeks that have passed, this is probably going to sound really stupid, but I had I had convinced myself that I was somehow still pregnant. Because my midwife had said that the bleeding should stop, by the second week, and that my test should be negative, I had continued testing, continued temping, because I was just in the habit, so I was still taking my body temperature every morning, and it was still super, super high, pregnancy level high, exactly where I was when I was pregnant with Alice, when, basically after I got all the testing done. At the start of this miscarriage, my temperatures had dropped, and I felt like the pregnancy tests I was taking at home were getting lighter. But then my temps went way up and stayed up, and the tests were still super dark, and the bleeding hadn't stopped, and I felt really pregnant. I've had sore nipples, which now I realize was just our 5th case of thrush. But I was really bloated, super tired, and of course it makes sense that whether or not I lost the pregnancy, I still have this HCG in my system that's still causing these symptoms. But I had totally, in combination with the temperatures and the tests and everything, I just believed really strongly that somehow, despite the bleeding and everything, that things were still okay. I know I had read, of course, online that some women just bleed in early pregnancy, but everything is normal. I thought maybe I had had a twin pregnancy and I had just lost one twin, but then, one was still okay, and that's why my temperatures were high, and I felt so pregnant. I found myself starting to get in thinking of, okay, well now I'm 7 weeks, now I'm 7 weeks and 2 days or whatever, and just really believing that. So it took me a while. I really love my midwife, but the clinic that she works in is just super busy, and they're really hard to work with. One lesson learned from all this is that despite how much I like the midwife that we used for Alice's birth, I'm done. I'm not going to use her in the future, so I'm looking for somebody else. But anyway, it took me several days to be able to get in contact with my midwife and to get another HCG follow-up test ordered. So I finally went and had that draw done Monday of this week, so 5 days ago now, which was exactly 2 weeks after the miscarriage when I went to the ER. And my levels had dropped to 88. So that was half of what they initially were, when I first found out I was pregnant. definitely not dropping as fast as she had anticipated and kind of prepared me for. But, you know, on that day, I realized there's no way that you can have, your level can be an 88 at 7 weeks pregnant. So that night was super hard because, again, like I had convinced myself I was pregnant, and somehow there was something miraculous had happened, and I totally done all the math. I figured out what our due date was going to be, and you know how things were going to be. I don't know. It was a bad idea, but it just took me so long to finally get that third beta for that confirmation that I just like let myself run away with this idea. So the day that we got the test results of 88, and I, you know, whatever, that was really hard because then I knew it was really over. It's really the end. So I've had a few days since then to again wrap my head around this whole experience, and I'm really, really ready now to be able to move on. I am still bleeding. Like I said, 2 days ago, I had super heavy bleeding and really bad cramps. And yeah, I'm starting to think that was my body sort of maybe trying to have like a regular period. I have had heavier bleeding since then. And I'm looking for that reset button. I just want to reboot my system and just start over. So right now I'm sort of torn between, I had this nervous energy and I feel ready for things to be, you know, restarted and to just have a blank slate again and move forward, but I know my body's not quite there yet. So I'm having the tension between like really wanting to be able to take action and move on, but then just being stuck in this limbo until everything works itself out, and just kind of really feeling trapped in not knowing what's going on, and just having to take it easy and having to just wait and see. I have been trying to give myself more of a break. I've been taking it easy exercise-wise. I have not been feeling that great. I've been getting pretty bad headaches, and some days I've just been super tired. There was a day earlier this week that I took Alice on like our, you know, regular daily walk, and I just started feeling really horrible, like I was gonna throw up or pass out. I was afraid I wasn't gonna make it home, and I sort of had to just like sit down and wait, you know, to be able to make it home. So I'm really trying not to push it. I'm giving myself a break on temping, so I have stopped temping in the morning, and I'm not taking any more pregnancy tests. I just need to accept what's happened and give it some time, and just start over. But I started thinking maybe I would try to do like a cleanse. I've never done a cleanse in my whole life, but if there was any time that I really felt like I want to just, you know, just start over, like I said, this would be it. But the problem with that is, of course, because I am still breastfeeding, I have done a little bit of research and found that it is not safe to do a cleanse because basically all the toxins, some of the toxins will go into my breast milk and just get transferred to Alice. So obviously I'm not going to do that. So I'm trying to think of like a different way that I can kind of symbolically mark moving on and really feel like I'm going to be physically ready, to try to conceive again. I'm trying to eat healthy, rest. I'm still taking my vitamins, that kind of stuff. I just wish there was a little bit more something I could do. I've mentioned that my plan is to cut my hair pretty drastically and donate it. I wanted to wait till after the holidays, but I'm starting to think maybe I'll do that sooner, just because it might make me feel better and be able to like mark this time. So that's pretty much where I am. I know it's not a super happy update, but I'm really looking forward to being able to make an update soon, feeling less stuck and, like we're moving in the right direction again. So that's it. Thanks for, again, for all of your support. I know I haven't gone back and replied to all the beautiful comments that people have left me just about this whole thing, but know that I read them all and really take them to heart, and so appreciate all of your support. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully we will be ready to make a fresh start in a new cycle very soon.